Hey, how's it going? Ron Pascal here. Beautiful day out in Boston, Massachusetts. And I quickly wanted to go over just like a big thing, like my life story. Um, so far, I'm 22, and a lot of people are asking, how do you read so many books? What got you into the books? And, why this radical change? Because I wasn't always like this. And it started off when I was younger. I wasn't really a kid into books, into like learning business and like self development and all this new cool stuff that I do now. I was really just like a regular dude. I played basketball, I like to draw. Um, I hung out with friends and just like did regular stuff. Uh, I didn't really take anything too seriously. And I was that kid in high school who would, be in all honors, get straight A's without even trying, but still didn't really do anything or take anything seriously. Like, I know I didn't really want to go to college. I didn't expect myself to go to college and do all this stuff, but I kind of just went with the drift. So that was really my background. And I went to Framingham State. I went to a university when, 17, 18. I go and I spent a couple years there actually just like doing nothing. I floated, as you would say. I didn't have a gen ed. I didn't have a major set for me. I didn't have, a clear direction on what I wanted to do. Um, I never listened to a podcast. I never listened to like a YouTube video. All this was foreign to me. I didn't know what that meant. All I knew was really, you know, just hang out, drink, smoke a little bit. That's really it. Nothing really too intense. And I did this for a couple years like that. I got my own apartment, uh, floated, and my grades really started to drop, And at the time, I was looking at majors, and I'm like, all right, what major gives you the most money? What major that you can hop into, no matter what situation you're in, whether it's a recession, all this crap. Which major will give you, the safest future? And I chose medicine. I chose hospitals because there's always going to be sick people. So I hopped into biology and I failed miserably. I failed miserably for a long time. And the pressures of, the school, with the biology failing really bad, the pressures of just floating around. I was also working a shitty job at the time. I was working, I think, at like FYE, something like that. I was working at like some retail store for like $8 an hour, and I was miserable. And when you're not aware of who you are, it's hard to know that you need to read a book or you need to reach out. You do what other people do. A lot of people, I grew up from a very poor neighborhood, so a way of coping with stress and coping with all these different things would be to like drink or smoke. If you're stressing out, all your bills are fucked up, you drink or smoke. If your girl's giving you problems or your boyfriend's giving you problems, you drink or smoke. If you just feel lost in life, you drink and smoke so you can cope with that feeling, cope with that confusion. So I, blindly followed that route, and what became like a once a week thing turned into more of a like frequent, almost everyday thing. And I knew that if I kept going that route, it'd be fucking horrible. I knew that if I didn't do something else, I would be somebody who I was not proud of like 10 years from now or something. And I knew that deep down. So, one day I decided to like look up depression. I didn't have clinical depression at the time, but I felt depressed like every day. And doing those habits that I talked to you about earlier just didn't help. So what I decided to do was I Googled depression books, because I figured a book would have the answer, because everyone loves books. So I figured, why not just fucking give a Amazon search for a book or something. And I came across a book called Awaken the Giant Within. And that book had the most reviews. I read all the reviews, and I was skeptical as hell. Like, what the fuck can a book give to you? Books really can't help you that much. I was really skeptical of this book actually, working for people. I thought people were getting paid to like comment, positive reviews about this book. But I was in a situation where my back was against the wall, and I was like, if I don't do, my only chance is to read this book. I might as well just spend the $5 and read it. Um, so I ordered the book. I actually have the book right here, Awaken the Giant Within. I read the book, and immediately it gave me all the solutions to what I was feeling at the time. Because at the time of reading the book, I thought that the way you felt is just the way you felt. I didn't know that you can control your internal emotions by using certain techniques and using certain ways of focus and decisions and questions and limiting beliefs. I didn't know what a limiting belief was. I didn't know what beliefs were. I just thought we were just who we were. I didn't know that the human mind is malleable, and the human itself can change by direction and cultivating that. Like he says, if you don't decide where you want to be, that's a decision. Deciding not to decide what you want to do, who you want to be, and so forth. So I didn't know things like that. And once I began reading the book, all these changes began happening for me. I started to think more positive. I started to attract more positivity in my life. I started to take more control over just like my grades, my financial situation, all these different things, my friends, everything around me. And it wasn't, that one book didn't give me all the answers. Not at all. It did not give me all the answers. I had to read. I've read hundreds of books since then. But that book did create the journey for me. That book started, it opened a whole new window for me of what I'm capable of doing, the things I can learn, the things that could benefit me just from reading. So since then, this is when I was like 19. I'm going to be 23 in a month or two, I think December. So since then, I've read close to 400 something books, all related on business, psychology, dating, lifestyle, biographies, you name it. I read a lot of the top books. And what I can tell you is that I'm no different than anyone else. Even right now, it's like I haven't accomplished that much. I'm a young guy. But the power of reading can really, really, really do a lot for you that words can't even explain. Charlie Munger has something when he says, spending time with the preeminent dead. You're literally looking at thoughts of the world's best people, and you're sharing thoughts with them, right? And if you're spending time with someone who's a shithead, you're not going to be a shithead exactly like them, but they will bring you down more than what you are right now. It's osmosis. You put two and two together, you guys will find a meeting point, find a meeting ground. So it's like the same thing. If you're spending time reading books of the top best people, you might not be on their level, you might not be Sir Isaac Newton, but you'll be a better version of yourself. So that's one reason why I really love reading books. And another reason could be like Richard Dawkins in Simulation. He says you don't want to really make mistakes in life because you don't want to do trial and error, right? You don't want to learn from your mistakes because, number one, it takes too long to trial and error everything. And number two, it can be fatal. You can fucking die from trial and error. It's not, you don't really have too many chances with certain things. You want to learn as much as possible. That way you can avoid all the hardships that other people have faced. And that's what these books are for. When you read a book, a lot of authors tell you, if you're reading an autobiography, they tell you all the troubles that they had to go through and the lessons they learned along the way. You got to stand on the shoulders of giants. That's what Isaac Newton says. Why would you try to learn on your own how to invest money when you could learn from Warren Buffett? He has a book. Or you can learn from Benjamin Graham, the intelligent investor. He has a book. You can learn from so many other people. If you're going through dating and you want to learn how to become a better boyfriend, better girlfriend, why not read a book on that and try to implement that in your dating life instead of learning from your own mistakes and learning how to fail first and then finally when you're 40 years old figuring it out. Life's short if you don't know how to use it, so use it right. Learn from these books, learn from these people who already went through it. The best people in the world, like learned optimism. Learn from Martin Seligman how to become more optimistic in your life. You want to work out, learn from Arnold Schwarzenegger. One of the best, the pioneer of the gym, pretty much, of the weightlifting industry. You want to learn how to become a marketer, learn from David Ogilvy. Learn from Claude Hopkins, learn from him. Learn from Jay Abraham, $1 billion man, $10 billion man, $9.8 billion man. Learn from these guys. You know, you want to learn about all these different topics. There's books on the best guys. You want to learn how to be a more social guy? Pick up books on the best social people in the world. Pick up Social, Matt Lieberman. Pick up, there's so many countless books. Compelling People. There's so many books. Body Language, Alan Pease. Pick these books up. So my point is, it's books can do a lot for you that you know you can't do by yourself. You know, everyone needs teachers. Everyone learns from someone else. You know, language was created for communication. When a human's natural state was not born with language. Language is something we invented just like fire. So it's like, if language is used for communication to help each other get ahead, why not take advantage of that and read these books? You know, why not, if you can't get in touch with these great people like Marcus Aurelius or Seneca, why not read their books and get in touch with them that way? There's a reason why these books are here and they spend the test of time, you know? And in the information age, it's hard because there's so much things that clutter you. There's so many things that just distract you, like entertainment. There's a lot of entertainment in the world. There's salt, sugar, fat. You know, there's a lot of fatty foods. There's a lot of pornography. You know, these things that just take control of your mind. These lower consciousness stuff that just completely take control of you. And, you know, you end up spending your whole day getting lost in that. Why not replace that with at least an hour of reading? You know, you don't have to read. What I do is, you don't have to read 8 hours a day like Warren Buffett to get ahead. You can read 10, 15 minutes a day. Read one book a month. Read one book a week. You know, I read 3 books a week right now, and I'm trying to get to a book a day. But reading at least one book a month will change your fucking life. Honestly, reading this book alone, you can only read just 5 books a year, and that can change your whole life, change your income, change your whole entire life. So that's my story with the books. Hopefully you guys resonated with that, and maybe you're inspired to start reading on your own. You know, I really enjoyed it and prospered a lot from it in terms of just knowledge and new insight. So I'm going to be having more videos up. You could definitely click subscribe to get more of these. I'm going to start a whole book club just on like books and books that I like to think are very actionable, inspiring, and applicable for like someone who's, you know, was in my position when I was a little bit younger. So I'm definitely going to have more of those. And signing out.